Hello, positive people. Welcome back to Teas New Jersey. My name's Alex. Today we're going to be talking about green tea. I'm going to go over what green tea is, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the differences between Chinese and Japanese green tea. And then I'm going to be making videos specifically on Chinese green tea and specifically on Japanese green tea, so I will link those below. So what is green tea? Green tea has been very popular lately. More and more brands are starting to sell green tea, and there's a little bit of confusion sometimes about what green tea actually is. So green tea comes from the same plant as black tea. The same leaves are also used to make oolong tea, pu'er, yellow tea, and white tea. So it comes from the same plant, the Camellia sinensis. There are other herbs that people use to make infusions that are marketed as tea, but we're talking about the Camellia sinensis. So green tea, how is it different from black tea? Black tea is a fully oxidized tea, whereas green tea is an unoxidized tea. So basically, the process of making green tea is a little bit different than the process of making black tea. Instead of encouraging oxidation, where you would to make black tea, the oxidation is limited for making green tea. So the process, the fresh leaves are picked, they are withered, and then they are fixed. And this is where the difference between Chinese and Japanese production of green tea is different. The Chinese method of fixing the leaves for green tea is by pan firing. So basically these leaves are put on a hot wok and turned over and over, and this gives the leaves a little bit of a smoky flavor, whereas Japanese style green tea is steamed, and so the leaves are put over steam, and the heat fixes the leaves so that the enzymes in the leaves are deactivated and preserves that green color. Same thing with Chinese green tea. They're trying to use the heat from the wok in order to kill the enzymes, or to deactivate the enzymes in the leaves in order to stop the oxidation. After this fixing process, the leaves are dried and then they are shaped in both cases. In the Chinese style, they are shaped either like coily or rolled up, or just dried and shaped flat. Whereas in Japan, the method of shaping is pretty important to the production of green tea, and the shape that they get from this production is a needle shaped. So the Japanese green tea is known for its needle shaped and pretty broken leaves. I have a couple of examples of some Chinese green tea here. Here you can see the wire shaped. These are hand rolled, hand shaped. So these leaves are shaped like this, and this is actually a Vietnamese Chinese style green tea called the Silver Snake. And then we have the Jade Snail Spring, and this is a Chinese style Chinese green tea. And these leaves are rolled up into little balls that resemble snail shells. That's how that one gets its name. And this is the Dragon Well, and this tea is typically buds and often leaves, and these are pressed so that they are mostly flat and have a flat leaf shape. Then we have the Japanese green teas, and I have some examples here. This is the premium sencha that we have, and you can see the broken leaves. Very different looking from the Chinese green teas. This is a kabusecha, which is a shaded style of sencha. And then the Gyokuro, which is the highest level of Japanese green teas, and these teas are shaded for 52 days for this case, but up to 30 days to be qualified as a Gyokuro style Japanese green tea. So you've seen what these teas look like. Now let's talk about the taste. Chinese green teas will have a little bit of a smoky flavor from the pan firing, whereas the Japanese green teas will have a little bit of a sea air and nutty kind of flavor. Both Chinese and Japanese green teas are known for their umami. However, Japanese green teas really try to preserve the umami flavor, and through the shading process, that umami flavor comes out really well. For those of you who don't know what umami is or tastes like, it's basically a very savory flavor. Green tea is also typically picked in the spring with the first 1 and 2 harvests of the year. Sometimes they do pick into the 3rd, and they also pick into the 4th and 5th for later season green teas. So if you want the freshest green tea, make sure it's spring picked. You do want to drink green teas as quickly as possible because you want the freshest green tea. These teas are meant to preserve the freshness of the leaves, the freshness of the plant, so you want to take advantage of that while they're young. Otherwise, while they age, those flavors kind of degrade a little bit, and the leaves start to oxidize with the air just through passive oxidation. I would say that the Chinese green tea ages better, so you can store this for a longer period of time because there's less surface area, whereas the Japanese green tea is more broken up. It's more susceptible to aging quickly, so you definitely want to drink the Japanese as quickly as possible. As for liqueur color, the Japanese green teas are definitely greener than the Chinese green teas, and the longer the shading of the Japanese green teas, the greener that the liqueur is going to be. The Gyokuro is the longest shaded green tea, and that has a very vibrant green color because there's more chlorophyll in the leaves, basically. And while the Chinese green teas have a little bit of a more yellowy kind of liqueur, a yellow-green. So those are the green tea basics. If you want a more in-depth look into Japanese and Chinese green teas, make sure you check out the links below. I'm going to have videos on those, on each specifically. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.